Guten Tag, ich bin Onassis, which means good afternoon. My name is Onassis, and I'm going to be your tour guide in Germany. Well, today I'm going to explain you some aspects about Germany's history. So first of all, let me check the schedule and also let me check the time. Well, we are on time and we have a very interesting agenda. First of all, I'm going to explain you what was the Cold War. Well, the Cold War was a conflict between two superpowers, US and Soviet Union. It began at the end of the 40s and had its catharsis between 1989 and 1991, while the world started to perceive a unipolar and capitalist era, even when socialism wanted to rule the world. As we know, the Cold War triggered many consequences, but one of the most remarkable was the erection of the Berlin Wall. Well, the Berlin Wall was erected on August 12 of 1961 because people from East Berlin started to cross freely into western part to see their families and escape from the socialist system. So the socialist Easterners decided to build the tremendous and huge construction with the purpose of dividing a whole nation just for an inner conflict between two economical systems. The Soviet Union, in a desperate way, cut every communication with the capitalist side because West Berlin was supported by US and Germans were having a better way of life there. So the socialists cornered their citizens in the east side to avoid more migration because their popularity was in the ground. Now I'm going to introduce you to the socialist structure by telling you some of its most famous leaders and also some of the errors that they commit. First of all, we have Leonid Brezhnev. He was an authoritarian leader who during his government took his country to the cusp of influence and power. But suddenly he started to spend excessive amounts of money, carrying his nation into an unfortunate stage of crisis and turned the Soviet Union into an organization in decline due to corruption, inefficient bureaucracy, and constant indecisive decisions. In the second place, we have Yuri Andropov. He was a politician that supported the anti-crisis and anti-corruption action, but he didn't improve the economy, so the country continued in a severe standstill. He was captivated by the innovative minds of young leaders as Gorbachev. Nevertheless, he was advanced in age and had an incurable kidney disease that affected his health and died rapidly. The last character of this short list is Konstantin Cherenkov. He was very similar to Andropov because he was advanced in age and had a poor health too, so he was unable to rule effectively the nation. But if I'm telling you the history of Germany and also I'm talking about politics, I have to mention Gorbachev and his attempt to rescue socialism because he was a revolutionary leader. He proposed and developed the innovative politics.
Gorbachev reacted to growing opposition by pressing ahead with plans to reform the Communist Party.
И все-таки все то, что мы развернули через реформы, через демократию, вот эту, через советы, через трудовые коллективы, через вот эти вещи все, включения, вот это только путь. К этому надо. Там уже вы.
As I said before, socialism had a fatal end. So the start of this began when several revolutionary events against this economic system were triggered around 1988 when a series of strikes and civil movements began to put pressure on the need for political change. Solidarity, the most important promoting organization of social resistance, gained more and more ground, and in 1989
Con la caída del muro a finales de
the new
1989,
elections were made.
las cosas se
The
precipitaron.
resistant social masses agglomerate began in Poland with the purpose of throw off the communist bloc, and this caused an irreversible domino effect because events in Poland were quickly followed by similar movements in Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Bulgaria, and Eastern Europe. The Berlin Wall once was erected, but once was demolished. On the 9th of November of 1989, due to the weakness of the socialist government, people dismantled the wall with their own hands. They were anxious of cross from one side to another, from west to east, from east to west. They wanted to reunite the borders and unify the German nation. After the fall of the socialist bloc, Germans were full of joy. The old communist regime lost elections, and this represented the start of the unification and cooperation process among this country. Germans cut their imposed socialist strings and were free to travel with their families and join the capitalistic way of living. This period of time is really interesting because represented silent war between two powerful nations. The most affected one was Germany, with its socialist part supported by Soviet Union. But why this occurred? Well, my own theory is that its leaders didn't take the right decisions, and also the ideals of the economic model that was used as its motto was not as fructiferous as the capitalist one. I also think that this war could have lasted more time if Andropov or even Cherenkov didn't die so quickly, because despite their ages they were conscious of crisis, they were interested on new politics and curious of young leaders, as Gorbachev, who was the key to the end with the battle of the Cold War, due his intelligence and charisma. Because he didn't fight against their enemies, he preferred to evolve politics. He attempted to defend his economic system until the end, instead of fight for the name of our organization in decline. In a few words, he helped to appease Germany by letting everyone to choose the system that they preferred. Thank you for choosing Tech Millennial Travel Agency. It was a pleasure to introduce you to the history of Germany and also showed you some of the most important places of this nation.
Drop it.